I saw my life branching out before me like the green fig tree in the story. From the tip of every branch, like a fat purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked. One fig was a husband and a happy home and children, and another fig was a famous poet, and another fig was a brilliant professor, and another fig was E.G., the amazing editor, and another fig was Europe and Africa and South America. And another fig was Constantine and Socrates and Attila, and a pack of other lovers with queer names and offbeat professions. And another fig was an Olympic lady crew champion. And beyond and above these figs were many more figs I couldn't quite make out. I saw myself sitting in the crotch of this fig tree, starving to death, just because I couldn't make up my mind which of the figs I would choose. I wanted each and every one of them, but choosing one meant losing all the rest, and as I sat there unable to decide, the figs began to wrinkle and go black, and one by one they plopped to the ground at my feet. Sylvia Plath, The Bell Jar. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome. My name is Dina Danielle. Be sure to click the subscribe button and the thumbs up so you don't miss any future videos. And today I am talking about the bell jar, specifically the fig tree analogy that Sylvia Plath uses to talk about different life paths. So let's get into it. I first came across this analogy on TikTok. Someone had posted it and was talking about the fig tree, and I was like, this really resonates. This is just ringing so true to my life. And so I bought the book. I am reading it. Come to find out, the analogy about the fig tree, at least thus far, I'm like halfway through. The analogy about the fig tree is one small paragraph in the whole entire book so far. I spilled some water on my shirt, so please just ignore that. My grandma always says I have a hole in my lip. I feel like this analogy resonates so much because I have chosen to pursue different things in my life, and I get heavily interested in them, and then I often let them go. I know some people say this is a symptom of ADHD, hyperfixating or hyper-focusing on something and then letting it go. I do exhibit some other qualities of ADHD, but I have never been diagnosed with ADHD. I don't know if I have it. Probably I have been told by doctors, probably not. But this really resonated with me because sorry if you hear so much noise outside. I feel like there's a helicopter going around trying to catch somebody. So I just feel like it has always been tough for me to choose a life path and also to choose a career. And if you're watching this, you may relate to that. For example, in college, choosing a major was so tough for me. I was interested in art, I was interested in writing, I was interested in dance, and then a part of me also thought I should be practical. So my first semester of college was actually in nursing because I was interested in something practical that was going to get me a good job, but I was also interested in caring for people and doing something with my life that was kind of more altruistic, and that really is how I see nursing. So if you're a nurse, props to you. I ended up switching to a photography BFA within my first year of school, but that took a lot of deliberation and weighing out the pros and cons, a lot of discussions with my parents and other people. And so with Sylvia Plath and the fig tree, she's sitting there and she's seeing all these. The figs are representing different paths or ways or careers or life paths that could unfold in front of her, right? Like one is being a mother, one is being a professor, one is being somewhat of a nomad and traveling different countries. And I just find this so relatable because, like I said, I've wanted to do different things and I have done different things. I did photography for a while, was a freelancer, then started blogging, did that for a while, then did social media, now I'm in e-commerce. I also have a jewelry business. There's a lot of different things and a lot of different interests that I have. I also love to paint and to write. Most of it revolves around some sort of creativity, obviously creating YouTube videos here with you right now. But I feel like there's a lot of different directions my career could have gone. Not only career, but also each person that you meet, if that relationship continues or if it stops. For example, if you decide to continue that relationship with that person and you end up getting married, you have a home and you have children, that's a very different life path than traveling around the world as a nomad. This book was written decades ago, and I feel like now we even have more opportunities, more choices. It's almost similar to dating, where you have like the paradox of choice, right? You have all these options, but you can only choose one when it comes to dating. And when it comes to career, you can really only choose like one or two. You can change your mind and go in another direction. Same with dating, you can break up with that person, start dating someone new, but really it's only one at a time if you're monogamous. And if you have a career that you're very focused in. And if you choose more than one option as a career or as a hobby, then you really don't come to master that craft. They say it takes, 10,000 hours to master a craft. So if you are choosing all these different hobbies, all these different life paths, all the figs, and you're trying to hold all these figs in your arm and trying to do everything, some of the figs are going to fall and drop. It's just not possible to hold them all and do everything. So you have to be really conscious of what you are choosing in your life, whether that's career, whether that is a partner, or becoming a nomad and traveling. We are bombarded with choice that makes you think you can do everything, when really you should be narrowing down and focusing on one or two, maybe three things, so that you can do them well and you can be a professional or an expert at those things. I think that now it's really challenging to be a Renaissance man or woman. The definition of a Renaissance man is a cultured man of the Renaissance who is knowledgeable, educated, or proficient in a wide range of fields. A present day man who has acquired profound knowledge or proficiency in more than one field. So I do think it is possible to find that you are proficient or an expert in more than one field. But if you are trying to do 3, 4, 5 things and be good at them, it is going to be very challenging. It is better to focus your energy on 1 or 2, maybe 3 things and become an expert in those, and really that is when and where you are going to see success. If you're trying to do everything, it is going to be so challenging to have enough time and energy for all of those things and to be able to excel in them. I think this is more succinct than I would ever be able to put it in my own words, and this is from Medium. In summary, the fig tree analogy from the bell jar underscores the importance of applying the right constraints, such as personal values, priorities, and realistic appraisals of one's abilities and desires, to navigate through life's ocean of options and make decisions that lead to fulfillment and success. The fig tree analogy not only talks about like the paradox of choice, but also the paralysis of choice. If you're presented with hundreds of options and then it becomes harder to choose one singular option because you keep thinking the next thing will be better. So you are just stuck. And we have a limited time on this earth. So if you are stuck trying to make a decision, then time is passing you by. This also shows you that every choice has a trade-off, right? Like if you are choosing to go travel to Africa, South America, Europe, you are using that time to travel and you are trading off the other things that you could have done with that time. If that's your priority and that's what you want to do, then it makes sense for you, right? But you just have to make the right choice. everything is a trade-off because we have a limited amount of time on earth. So in this sense, when you're given unlimited options, it's really it's really important to know what you don't want so you can easily push that to the side, and then you have less options to choose from. You can narrow it down. It becomes more clear of those fewer options which you would choose. Time is the most valuable resource I think that we have on the earth, so it's important definitely to choose wisely. However, we do have quite a bit of time, so if you make the wrong choice, it's not like your path is set in stone. You can definitely make a new choice later on. But of course, there are some things like marriage and children that are irreversible. So if you make the choice to have a child, you are obviously always going to have that child for 18 plus years. They are going to be living in your home, and that is the choice that you have made to become a mother or a father. So I think that most choices are in fact irreversible, but they are not set in stone, and that you always have to choose that if you've chosen it once. For example, a career path, you can make a decision and then later on you can change your mind and decide you want to go in a different direction. You can choose to travel for part of your life and then still choose to be a mother or a father and have a successful family life. You can choose to be an artist and also a professor. So some things do go in tandem, but there are some things that are mutually exclusive. For example, you can't choose van life and travel around the United States and have a 9-to-5 where you're in the office. Those two things are mutually exclusive. If career advancement and climbing the corporate ladder is more important to you than the freedom of exploration, you have to make that choice, and it's a trade-off. You can't do them both at the same time, but you could, however, do one for 6 months and then come back to career life and do the other later, or vice versa. But each choice you make may lead to a different life path. So I just thought this analogy of the fig tree was so interesting, so relatable, and really resonates with how my life has been. So I wanted to talk about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.